Welcome in to the channel, Tennessee Podcast. I'm your host, Randy, alongside my good friend, Austin Brown. It is May the 4th for all you nerds out there that love Star Wars. May the 4th be with you. All of you nerds out there. Let's get this rocking, man. Let's get this rolling. The Vols drop a third straight series. They've lost 4 out of the last 5 series. I don't know what kind of funk they're in, what kind of yips they've got, but they've got something. They got a case of something. We'll talk about that. Tony gets ejected. Umpires, horrible all weekend, all year, actually, from every series around the country. Just terrible officiating in the realm of baseball. Just awful. We'll talk some football, we'll talk some basketball, transfer portal, yada, yada, yada. We'll get all into that. But let's dive into what happened, not just this weekend against Auburn, but the previous series against all the other teams that Tennessee has dropped the series to. They're in a funk. They got the yips, whatever you want to call it. It's not good. It doesn't look good. It doesn't feel good. To me, Austin, I don't know about you, but we were talking about this before we got on here about how the game started today on Sunday, where Tennessee had to finish their game from the previous night because of the rain. And they came out and they looked like they had that killer kick-ass mentality to finish off that game, to tie the series up, to go into the rubber match later in the day. But then they came out in the final game of the series against Auburn, and they looked fine. But then again, the yips, the whatever, the funk that they're in hit them. And for me, Austin, I discussed this before we got on here, but the body language of this team, you know, like when you go into a meeting or you go into go to a party or something, and you kind of just sit back and you read the room and you could just see the body language of people, if they're having fun or not, or if they're having a great time, or if they're miserable. This team's body language, to me, it doesn't, I don't know what's wrong with it. Their body language tells me that they're not having fun for some weird reason.
I think it's a bunch of guys who, a lot of this team was on a good portion of this team was on the team last season, but I feel like the main leaders from last year's squad are not here.
Mm-hmm.
And what we have is a bunch of guys who are good at baseball, but they're a little new to everything here. Like Andrew Fisher, absolutely studded Ole Miss and doing great here. I mean, he's not having a bad year by any means, but he's new to the scene. Gavin Keelan kicked ass at Louisville, but he's new to the scene. And they just don't quite they aren't the guys who established the culture that is Tennessee baseball. And I mean, Tony and Frank and co can do all they can, but I feel like when you get this team in a little bad spot, when they have those lulls, I feel like they lack the leadership qualities to step out of it. Like just in my opinion, in like those tight moments and those really tense moments, I feel like a guy like Blake Burke, a guy like Christian Moore, would maybe just like get in someone's face and wake them up and tell them, hey, this is Tennessee baseball. We don't do this. We wake up. We kick ass at these moments.
What you just said is perfect, because Baseballs chimes in, and what he said is really saying exactly what you're saying right now. He says it's really simple. There's not a true vocal leader, as you mentioned, Blake Burke, and a lot of the freshmen just aren't ready. That's what Baseball says, and in the comment section. It's true. I agree with you, and I agree with Baseballs. There isn't a Blake Burke. What you just said. There's no Blake Burke. There's no SEMO, and they got a bunch of freshmen that are really damn good, but they're just not there yet. And I spent the entire day in Gatlinburg with some of my family, but on the way back, me and my wife were talking about this baseball team. And the previous 3, 4, 5 years of Tennessee baseball, it just had just insane rosters. But what I brought up to my wife was you had moments where Christian Moore, SEMO, Christian effing Moore was at the bottom of our lineup.
Mm-hmm.
He was at the bottom of our lineup. He was at the very bottom. He wasn't really thought much of. And SEMO, honestly, is going to probably go down as one of the better baseball players in Tennessee history when it's all said and done. Like when this Tony Vitello era comes to an end somewhere long down the road, Christian Moore is going to be one of those guys. You're just like, man, that guy's good. He was one of the best to ever do it at Tennessee. And baseball's comments, the freshmen just aren't ready. So when I think of what baseball said, the freshmen just aren't ready. I think of those Christian Moores. I think of those dudes that are at the bottom of the lineup. And I think Tennessee right now on this team has a lot of those dudes like Jay Abernathy. He's going to be a leadoff man. I'm telling you, it's coming. Like he's going to be one of those guys that leads off. Because the dude can hit. He's a good hitter. And he's great defensively. Jay Abernathy is one of those dudes. We have another realm of players coming up. Another just escalator of guys just rotating. And a lot of people could get upset. They could get pissed. I'm one of them. I get pissed. I get frustrated watching it. Sometimes I have to turn it off. I get so angry. I can't watch it. Sometimes I don't go to the games because I want to have a stress-free day. But what I was saying before we got on this podcast to you, Austin, this flag over my shoulder on this podcast, my left shoulder, that says 2024 National Champions, I'm going to give this team some leeway. They're going through some weird things. They're going through the yips or whatever you want to call it. I'm going to give this team some leeway because some of these dudes on this team from last season just won a national title, helped win a national title, and half those dudes are gone. They're completely gone. And if you recall, the year after LSU won their national title, they hit the yips too. Mississippi State, the year after they won the national title, they just kind of disappeared. So
they're still in the desert.
Yes, it is. It's like it's baseball. Like people just need to chill. Like it's not like it's football. It's not football. It's not basketball. You have a lot more players in baseball. Okay, people just need to chill, relax, because this team just won you a national title. They just took you to the ship and won you the ship. And think of that feeling because it's going to happen again. It's going to happen again. But this freak out from our fan base, I get it. I understand. I'm one of them. I get really angry. But it's proven with that national title banner over my shoulder on the live feed, if you're watching, it's okay. It's okay.
I will take that though. I do think if this team, makes postseason, they'll be like a, 15 seed or something. Let's say they win the Vandy series, lose the Arkansas series, maybe win like one or no games in Hoover. They'll probably be like a 15 overall seed in the tournament. And let's say maybe they get out of the regional, maybe they don't, but they don't get to Omaha. That's their story. Then we can sit back and say, okay, that team had some good pieces, but overall it was just kind of not quite, not quite a great Tennessee baseball team. That's fine. But I will take the time here to say this team has the ability to beat freaking anyone. Like if they would go win the Arkansas series on the road, it wouldn't blow my mind because this is baseball. And baseball is a very strange sport. And it's a very almost contagious sport. And what I mean by contagious is like maybe one guy breaks out of the funk and that goes to the next guy and that goes to the next guy. And before you know it, all the guys in the lineup are kicking ass and out of their funks and playing like it was Florida opening the year. I do think that is a possibility on the table because just go back last week. If you take away Dean Curley's two just basic baseball errors, like those were just plays that anybody should have made. If you take those away, you have a 3-0 win over LSU and then a 9-3 3 win over LSU in game 1 and game 2 in the box. Absolutely standing room only crowd. Just amazing way to open the amazing series to win there. In 2 games you've dominated. But of course that isn't what happened because those errors did happen and they took advantage of it. But I say that to say that is the ceiling for this team. That is how good this team can be. They can walk into the most hostile environment and beat great teams. That is the ceiling for this team. This team can beat freaking anyone. I really do believe that. On their best night, especially if you got Doyle or Phillips pitching, I think this team, like, if you told me this team has to play 3 games against Texas in good weather, in normal conditions, where you have guys starting, 5 or 6 innings, I think they have a decent shot because those 2 guys can give you probably probably at least like 6 innings of 1 to 2 runs at best case scenario. Or I mean, best case scenario, no runs. Worst case scenario, I guess Phillips could have a bad start, but Doyle's only had 1 bad start in the year. Um, but that's the ceiling for this team. Well, how they're playing right now, I mean, there's no getting around that. They're playing like dog shit right now. They are playing bad baseball. It is unbelievable to me that we just played Auburn, a team that's not really all that great. I mean, they're good. Don't get me wrong, they're good. I can't think of the name, the Friday night guy who absolutely was nails against us. Um, the transfer from Florida. Can't think of his name. Oh, Sam Dutton. Sam Dutton. He's a great pitcher, but outside of that, they got some flaws. It's unbelievable to me that we played 3 games against Auburn and we only hit 2 home runs. That is not Tennessee baseball. In your home in Lindsey Nelson Stadium. That should never happen.
You said it takes one guy to kind of be the spark plug, and I agree. This team is not as bad as people make it out to be. It's really not. They're in a funk. It's obvious they're in a funk. I mean, it is obvious something is off. Everyone is playing. They're just not good right now, and it's going to happen in baseball, especially baseball, long season. It's the same as like hockey and sports like that have a lot of games. You're going to go through moments in periods of time where you're not good, and you can. Austin, what you just said, like there's one guy can change that for the whole thing. It takes one moment for that thing to just flip the script and it's over. And you have all the confidence back. They don't have confidence right now. And you do need the moment to have, confidence. That you need that moment. And I believe it's going to happen. But again, I'm not going to freaking sit here and freak out about all this stuff because what I said, that banner behind my shoulder, they just won a national title and they've had some of the best teams ever in college baseball. They had statistically the best team in the history of college baseball. That didn't win it all. They didn't win it all. They lost before they even got to Omaha. Like they lost. One of the best teams ever statistically in college baseball lost before they even got to Omaha. So baseball is a funky, weird sport. It's an odd sport. But I want to get to Happy Vol's comment. Here you go. Happy Vol chimes in and says, I live in Nashville. I miss most of the games besides app updates. My question has the bullpen failed us? That was my impression before the LSU series and the rash of third base errors. Seems like our offense has been sporadic. Can I get a breakdown from y'all on the bullpen's effectiveness and the consistency of the offense? I'm going to answer this question, Austin, and then you can give your opinion on this question too as well. We do have bullpen problems. We don't have the pitchers that we usually, are often, usually saying just people that just shred people. We don't have the names. We don't have the dudes. But in my opinion, it is not because he said consistency on the offense. Our offense, a lot of people saying what's wrong with their offense. Nothing is wrong with. We left 12 men stranded on base. That should tell you that there's nothing wrong with the offense. When you leave that many, well, I guess it does have to do with the offense, but at the same time, you're getting that many, but you're getting that many people on base. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
it
yeah.
can't be that broken. We're just
I
not
mean,
we're just not blasting home runs like you said, like we're used to seeing. That's not Tennessee baseball. We're used to just destroying home runs, blasting home runs. You don't have the SEMO with the leadoff that's going to get hit every freaking time and put someone on base and get him on base or get an RBI. Like you're just not. You don't have that right now. But to say the offense is it's not broken, it's the whole team's in a funk. But to say the offense is completely broken, you can't say that when we leave that many people stranded because you got to have good offense to get on base. You know what I mean? Like it's a yin and the yang. Like that's just it's a weird thing, man.
it's just I mean, I don't know. Outside of Inslee, it does feel kind of like they aren't clutch. I
Mm-hmm.
hate to say it. Bargo had obviously
Oh,
the home run in the
pretty.
ninth, right before the rain came down yesterday. And go back to the bullpen question. I actually didn't feel like the bullpen was all that
Uh-uh.
bad this weekend.
It wasn't.
Doyle was freaking nails. That might have been one of Doyle's best showings. He's a freaking man. And Tanner Franklin has been great. Nate Snead though.
Yeah.
He's had a couple bad showings. I mean, of course, he got kind of screwed against LSU by his defense, but he still did let up some hits and walks after that.
Mm-hmm.
So he's had a little rough going of late. I'll be honest. I kind of thought of Snead coming into the season as like, okay, that is our guy out of the pen. This is our guy. If you need anything done out of the pen, he's got you.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess Russell can count as like a bullpen arm. And then the other guys have been, so here or there. We not really uh Breedlove and guys like that.
Mm-hmm.
They've been, here and there. Uh it's not
Rhonda on YouTube says we are not regrouping quickly after things don't go our way. We are used to last season. They were wonderful about that. That Rhonda, hit the nail on the head right there. Seriously, Rhonda, like that is true. We don't, and it what you said earlier, Austin, like, and the comment from Happy Ball, we don't have that vocal leader that's going to get people to snap out of it, and that comes with veteran players, and we have a couple of veteran players, but we don't have the Semos, we don't have the Burks, we don't have those guys anymore. So, and you have a bunch of young guys that aren't ready, but they've shown you that damn, they're going to be good. They're going to be good, but I mean, Rhonda's right. Like we can't bounce back like we have in previous seasons because of that leadership. And there's a funk going on right now, but I think I don't know. I think we can get out of it.
you,
It's baseball, man.
you know what it kind okay, this is not a great example because I think this team we have in baseball is a lot more talented than this basketball team. But it kind of reminds me after that great Admiral season, where we lost to Purdue in the Sweet 16, and all we had left really was Folky and Jordan Bowden. And Jordan Bowden I'd put him in the Hunter Inslee role. Like he's doing all he can, but at the end of the day, I mean, Inslee's great, but I kind of view him more as like on last year's team. I kind of viewed him as a role player,
Mm-hmm.
kind of like that fifth or fourth at best player in the lineup. And I'm not saying he's not suited to lead this team because he is, but he's not. I love the guy to death, but he is not Christian Moore. He's not Blake
Mm-hmm.
Burke. He's not contending for SEC Player of the Year. He isn't one of those guys.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I mean, if you really think about it, like I say, Andrew Fisher's the best guy on this team, but then again, he isn't like one of our dudes from
Yeah,
that's been here for a minute.
yeah.
I just like like if you notice last year, I love when we get a transfer and they're awesome. That is great. I love it. But I feel like in baseball, like Billy Amick last year was probably our best player for the first like 2.5, maybe 3 months of the season. And then he kind of went into a big funk. I don't know if you remember this, but that hit
Oh, I do.
he
I
had
do.
to give us that lead over LSU in the SEC championship game or the home run. That was like his first hit, I felt like in a week or two. And he'd kind of gone quiet. And he wasn't bad in the postseason, but he was never like the best player on the team. That was clearly Christian Moore, Blake Burke, on most nights. And it just to me, you're usually led by the guys who have, built the culture there. That's just how I kind of view it. And the best players on this team are him and Fisher and Gavin Keelan. And I think they can. I mean, on their best days, I mean, they're really good players. They're great hitters, but I feel like you're usually better off if you're led though by some veteran guys. But I'm talking about this team like they're already dead in the water. They're not dead in the
They're
water.
not dead at all, man. Like because you look at Arkansas a couple weeks ago, and I hate comparing this. Oh, look what this team's doing. Like, and I only care about our team, but again, this is baseball. This is not like football. This is like you can look at football and be like, oh, Tennessee, they don't look like Georgia over there. They don't look like Ohio State. They don't look like those guys. Tennessee looks like these top teams. They play like these top teams. And look at Arkansas just a couple weeks ago before they took the series at Texas. 3 series losses in a row. And they come out and beat them one team. So, yes, we are struggling, but what you just said, Austin, I'm not gonna sit here and like it's over. I don't think it is, because it takes that one moment that we were just talking about to open things way back up again, because it is baseball and you go through ups and downs in a season that's long.
I will say it's funny. I feel like a lot of times when your season turns around, obviously I'm going back to the Kavaris Tears home run against Vandy.
Mm-hmm.
And that felt like the turning point for that team that eventually made Omaha and even won a game in Omaha. But it is funny that we're absolutely at a crossroads of where we're going to go. And Vandy's actually doing pretty good right now, but they're our opponent. And it's the last home series of the entire season. I mean, of course you probably host a regional unless we just go down in flames. But
Mm-hmm.
I
we got our first Fire Tony Vitello comment.
that is uncommon. He's I think he said that during the College World Series run about 2,500 times. So I do love the fact that Tony. Okay, Auburn was clearly running away with that game, and the umpires were absolutely god awful this weekend.
God!
I mean, it felt like it. You know what? It did feel like that zone's expanded right when Auburn needed to. People say I'm bitching and just being a fan there, but it really did feel like. It was like 3 inches low of the plate. I mean, come on, man. It's
when you're calling strikes and it's at their shins. Dude, and just outside the plate in general, like there was no curve or anything on the ball. It was just like a ball thrown outside the zone at their feet, and they would call a strike. And that who is that bat where they just kind of like they called the strike, and he stood up and looked at the ump like, "Are you serious right now?"
Might have been Inslee.
I think it was Inslee, where he just stood up and it was like, what? What? And it was in like the umpiring, and this is not just like a Tennessee series thing. This has been like a ton of series throughout the whole season of every team. It's terrible.
That might have been at least top 3 Tony Vitello getting thrown out though. That was a fun throw out. That was he got his money's worth. He did the whole scene from Half Baked. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, except no one was cool.
Yeah, nobody.
He hated the entire crew. Everyone on that crew screwed us over. I mean, I don't care. I don't say I'm bitching, say I'm wearing orange clad glasses or whatever you want to say. That was unbelievably bad. And it did feel like, that's not a strike. Why are you calling it a strike kind of deal? Like it felt like they were trying to like I feel like we do have a reputation of us, and there might be some dislike. Like the Jeffrey Messiah stuff. I do feel like that was led by disdain of Tony Vitello and UT, like when he did his crap against us. So I think whenever we get bad umps, I get that vibe of they don't like us, and that's why they're doing this, because we are a different kind of team,
Well, that's how we're one of the best teams
in
the college landscape right now. in general, because when you have that many people that hate you, that means you're damn good. And people want to be you. People want to take your coach. And what kills me is people are always like, fuck Vitello. But then as soon as they like fire their coach, like Tony Vitello available.
Yeah, everyone wants
Okay.
it,
Okay.
which no one's getting in at this point. But
no.
unless you're freaking St. Louis Cardinals, I don't know.
But people always talk about Tony Vitello being psycho and getting ejected, thrown out of games. Was it the last time he got thrown out of a game was 23, 22, 23? When he chest bumped the ump?
Was that the last? That was 22.
I swear to God, that was the last time.
I think he got thrown out. Oh,
I don't think he has, man. I think that was the last time he got thrown out. But people act like he gets thrown out all the time, which is not true. It is not true. I'm pretty sure that was the last time he got thrown out. Frank's gotten thrown out. I don't think Tony's gotten thrown out.
I remember he got suspended for the Maui Ahuna stuff, but that wasn't getting thrown out.
That's not getting thrown out. I think that was the last time he got thrown out. So this narrative of like Tony is a psychopath and gets thrown out all the time, it's not true. It's not. You see coaches around the country getting thrown out left and right, but as soon as Tony Vitello does it, oh my God, the apocalypse in baseball is happening. It's the stupidest narrative. It's crazy.
I do feel like Tony was just like, you know what? This is probably all over. Let me just get my money's worth.
Oh, he knows it's over. But you understand
I'll
why
miss the midweek. I can binge watch some Sopranos or something. I don't know who the hell we play in the midweek. But
you understand why he got angry. Watching that game. And it's not orange. It's not orange glasses, Austin. Any fan, if you took both teams and made one team white or one team black jerseys, white jerseys, no logo, no nothing. I guarantee you people are like, wow, that was bad. Because what pisses me off the most about this, about the umpiring and the umps, is Tennessee will come out and throw the exact same pitch as our opponent, and it'll be a ball. The exact same location, and it will be a ball. And then they'll come out and throw the exact location, and they'll call a freaking strike, and you're like, make it make sense.
Yeah, exactly. Here's the thing. Having a wide zone or having a small zone does not make you a bad umpire. Having inconsistency with your zone is what makes you a bad umpire. And all three guys, like, I guess I only saw two because of the doubleheader, but to all two or three of the guys behind home plate, they were just so god awful the entire weekend. And I feel like any unbiased person should be able to see that.
Yeah.
It's frustrating. I don't want to use that as an excuse, but there are a lot of times where we had outs, and I feel like, but I will say there were a few times we stared at ball three, and or strike three. That is a pet peeve I have with this team. But it's funny. It is a pet peeve I've had with previous Vitello teams, so I can't get too mad there.
Well, exactly. You can't get. It's so weird how in sports, like, you just get so. You're still getting mad at the same stuff, even though we just won a national title. We're less than a year removed from a national title, but you're still bitching about the same stuff. But it must not be that big of an issue because you're winning a title. Like, it's so wild, man. Like, sports is crazy. Sports are just sports are crazy, man.
Well, you want to be legendary. You want to be legendary. You don't want to be just you had this one moment, but I do think if I'm a betting man, I'd say Tennessee wins another. It might not be I probably would say it's not this season, but I do think we'll win another national title under Tony Vitello. He's so great.
People are probably going to beat their head against the wall when I say this, but like, I can't say that this team won't do it. Like, name a team out there right now that is just dominating people.
It was Texas, but
no. They don't look like that. Like that series, especially when you make that boneheaded mistake of thinking there's 3 outs. Like,
I
I
didn't
don't
see that.
know. Do what?
I didn't see it.
Texas thought there was 3 outs, and Arkansas got a double play on them and into the game.
Here's what I'm really hoping for this team. I just hope they snap out of it. That's all I can say. I want to see the ball go over the fence. I want to see like 6 home runs in the series against Vandy. I want to see. That's really what I really, really want to see. I know we got power. I mean, hell, we built our team based on power. We got the power. We got
Well,
the power.
well,
We could.
Ronnie Hall sends a comment in from Twitter. Guys, what is really concerning to him is lack of home runs in the last several series. Yes, I get that, Ronnie, and I 100% agree with that. It is concerning. But what Austin said earlier in the podcast, it takes that one dinger to ignite the whole team. It is true because you've just seen in what did you say about Billy Amick just a mere minutes ago, 5-10 minutes ago about Billy Amick went through that massive slump and then guess what? Hit that massive home run against LSU and won the whole damn thing basically. Like it's a funky sport. And to Ronnie's comment, like I agree, we need to. With the lack of home runs is what is kind of like depressing. But what people aren't talking about enough is the amount of players that get on base that aren't getting home. We have put so many people on base, and they're on base. It's so many players that get on base and they're not getting home. So that is one encouraging thing to me, at least, Austin, and Ronnie and Baseballs and Seth, who just chimed in. That is one thing that is encouraging about this is that we have so many people that get on base. So for the optimistic minded me, because we won a national title last season, so I'm going to be optimistic about this because there's proof that this could work. You start hitting a couple of shots in the gap or a couple of home runs with those people on base. Guess what? We don't have a problem anymore. There is no problem. So I think that's one optimistic thing to look at is the amount of people that are getting on base. Because if this was happening and we weren't getting anyone on base, Austin, then that would be major concern. But having this many people on base, it just a couple hits need to go our way. And I feel like it'll be okay. I'm so different when it comes to my football and my basketball takes because we haven't won a national title. But when you've proven you can win a national title, I'm going to give you a little bit of leniency here. I'm going to give you a little leeway. I'm going to let it play out.
Yeah.
Because we've done it, and you can see what happened. And there's no team in this country right now that is just head over heels like Tennessee was last year, just better than everyone else. You can see it.
You know why I'm not well, I wouldn't say I have all the faith in the world in this team specifically. Whatever I said there. But I'm not saying I have all the faith in the world in this squad, but I'm not worried about the overall program really, because I saw what I saw in the 5th inning with Tony Vitello losing his mind on everybody and their mother, and it's just like, yeah, that guy ain't gonna put up with this. That guy ain't gonna settle for middle of the pack. That's not a guy who wants to just, I hope we make it to Omaha. No, that's a guy who wants more rings on his fingers. That's what he wants. That guy wants Tennessee to be looked at in the way they look at programs like LSU in the future. It's crazy though. Like I'd say there's no pressure on us. We already won a title. But here's the kind of crappy part though. Everyone in your league, like more than likely, if you don't win the title this year, someone in your league will. isn't that kind of crazy?
You know what?
It's a
I
different
know.
level of pressure.
I know SEC's always been good at baseball with the LSU's, the Mississippi States, the Vandy's. But I feel like I could be completely wrong on this, but this is the way I feel. I feel like when Tennessee becomes good at something, the league is like the best in the world.
Yeah.
Like Tennessee becomes good at basketball, and the SEC all of a sudden out of nowhere turns to the best league in the planet. It's like, why can't Tennessee be the best in the league and the rest of the league just is kind of average?
Well,
But the SEC used to not be like that in basketball. It used to be like whatever, ACC, Big Ten, all them dudes, and then Tennessee becomes really good at basketball. Oh, SEC is the best ever now. Like it's crazy.
well, yeah, it's literally like this. Like we're calling ourselves at everything school. Well, yeah, because our league is good at everything now. And it is a bit of like who cares the most is going to win, and just so happens the people in the Southeast. I mean, this is the Death Star conference. This is the we won everything conference. I mean, hell, I think we're the reigning champions in everything but football, which is wild. That's kind of weird, isn't it?
And basketball.
The one sport. No, Florida just won the title.
Oh, I thought you meant Tennessee. Yeah, no, you're right. You're
yeah,
right.
I mean
You're right.
the league.
I get you. Yeah, you're right.
But yeah, it's funny. I think part of us kind of thought we'll never have to worry about, like, we're so good at football, the league will never have to worry about it, and that's honestly what I feel like we're farthest off on right now. I mean,
Well,
Georgia got their season ended by Notre Dame. What the hell's that? But
Yeah.
I'm not mad about it. Don't get me wrong, I'm not mad about that.
But the thing is, you just know Georgia is going to just continue to reload. That's the stupid thing about it. But you're talking about football. Let's switch to football because I want to talk about that too. Because we opened the show talking about our categories, and football is one of them. Let's talk about that because you said football is. You seem like you feel like it's the furthest away, and I 100% agree with you on that. I feel like it is the furthest away. But then again, the other side of me, one side feels like it's furthest away, and the other side of me feels like, wow, we were under no pressure this upcoming season. And that's usually when teams do pretty well when they're under no pressure. Like, I know this is a stupid example, but like Peyton Manning leaves, T. Martin comes in, there's no pressure on them. Peyton's gone. What are they going to do? And they win a national title. I'm not saying that like extreme of an example, but you get what you know what I mean. Like when you're under no pressure, you tend to be looser. So we'll see what happens.
I kind of like Josh Heupel when he has a quarterback he didn't hand pick necessarily. At least, I mean, the one example I really have of that is Hendon Hooker, but I feel like I just have this weird feeling that the offense is going to be a little bit back to where they used to be. I think the O-line will be improved. I think the receivers will shock some people. I really do. I'm not trying to be Mr. Sunshine and fucking rainbows, but I just feel like when we think it's not good,
it's going to be better. Yeah.
Because I kind of like the fact that it's like a bunch of guys who just like this Joey Aguilar dude. He feels a little disrespected how it went down UCLA. He's a California kid, and and his first time he's ever going to get to play for his home state, he gets kicked out by this rich bitch. Even though I don't think he sees any of that money, but he gets kicked to the curb, and we're his landing spot. And if that ain't motivation, then I don't know what is. And you got Josh Heupel pissed off at how that went, want to prove something. I mean, I'm not saying that Tennessee is going to win because they want to prove something. That's dumb. We want to win regardless. But something about the vibe of this whole situation makes me feel good. I don't know why. I kind of like how this went. I mean, don't get me wrong. Joey Aguilar could go out there and be the worst quarterback in the world. I don't fucking know.
Well,
but I just feel he did throw 33 touchdowns. That tells me something.
But he also has a screw it like minded mentality. Like if there's not a play to be made, he's gonna try to make one, And that could either go really bad or that go really good. Like if you watch this, if you watch any of his highlights, you watch his tape, he's not a terrible quarterback. He does make some really bad decisions, but if you and people keep bringing up this Clemson game with him, but if you go back and watch that Clemson game, yes, he played just the most atrocious, horrific game you could ever see in your life. But there wasn't one receiver that was open on his team. Ever. Ever open. So he had to try to make something happen.
With 0.2 seconds in the pocket.
Yes. It's just, it was bad.
He also had a great game against North Carolina and, with subpar talent. I mean,
I remember watching that game. I was like, man, so I remember watching that game live on TV and I'm like, damn, that quarterback. I remember Twitter during that game was like, damn, this dude from App State's good.
That game was awesome.
I remember
that game. That was a great game.
It was a lot of fun. Well, I'm not sitting here trying to I'm going to crown this kid. I don't know what's going to happen.
That's my job. Don't take it.
Yeah, but yeah. but it's
Joey football.
But it's like you said, man. When there isn't high stakes, I don't know. I hate agreeing with you. This is the weirdest crap ever. I don't like you. So it's like
he hates me.
Yeah, I hate you. I hate agreeing with you.
We work together. He just walks up to me. He's like, I fucking hate you. He just walks away. It's like, good. I'm doing my job.
But I mean, I'm kind of in the same mindset with you, dude. When everyone's freaking out about transfer portal stuff and all that stuff. There's just no, I don't know. Like it just seems like they don't have to. They just go out there and play. That's what it seems like. They just go out there and play. They go out there and have fun. I feel like the last couple seasons have been, especially with Nico out there, they're expected to just do amazing things, and it seems like they're tucking their tail a little bit, and they're being scared a little bit of like, oh, we can't screw this up, blah, blah, blah. But when you had Hendon Hooker, it was a guy that Josh Heupel didn't bring in. Josh Heupel, it wasn't Josh Heupel's dude. And Joey is not Josh Heupel's dude. It's a transfer guy. So I do agree with you what you said, Austin. It's like they're gonna go out there and just kind of want to prove something, kind of without. And I do agree with you too, as well. The offense, I think the offense is gonna look more like the fast-paced offense.
I think it says something just to have a guy that's played a lot of football at that position. I mean, the guy was D3. He's a D3 at one point, and eventually transferred up, like basically community college football. And this is a guy who had to crawl through the mud to get to be an SEC quarterback. I mean, assuming he wins the job, and he's almost in his mid-20s. I like that. I feel like that was part of the reason why Hooker was so good at running the offense. He was just he was used to that speed of the game. He played a lot of football. He played a lot of D1 college football. That was a big part of why he was so great. Nico, I feel like a lot of the problem with Nico is this kid played more volleyball than football. I mean, that's just the truth.
And his parents are psychopaths. But here's one thing that does open my eyes that was said this week, and it kind of did make me kind of just like, okay. Virginia Tech fans tweeted out earlier, it's like a week or two ago, Hendon Hooker, when he was at Virginia Tech, could not complete a damn pass. Couldn't hit anybody in stride. Couldn't hit anyone downfield. He goes to Tennessee and all of a sudden can hit every damn pass he throws. Where was that Hendon at Virginia Tech? Where was that Hendon Hooker at Virginia Tech? So that's what gives me a little bit of confidence about this guy coming in that there's no expectancy of him. There's no like, you are the dude. You are Nico. You are the guy. We spent all this money on you. You are the dude. And he just kind of comes in maybe and just like starts tossing around the yard. You're like, okay. Could it happen? Yeah, I think it could, but there's no weight on this dude's shoulders right now, like Nico's, where it's like if it doesn't work out, we're gonna be pissed. Where
I
right now we're on the opposite side. If it works out, if it doesn't work out, whatever. But if it works out, holy hell, that was good.
I like the fact that he kind of looks like a guy that just wants to like he wants to score. Like he's not gonna overthink anything. I feel like that to steal a phrase from you. I feel like he's just going to just kind of roll out there, and that was what was so different when Hooker went in. I felt like Hooker just like he snapped the ball and kind of just play the game. It was like he was a gamer. He would just like he enjoyed it. He loved just like the whole action of it. I feel
Hendon
like a
got the
lot of
ball out of his
guys
hands.
do it and they look robotic and they look like just like they're trying to execute what they did in practice. And that's not football, man. Football is going out there just playing it. I mean, it's a certain breed of guy. I think it really I only has anything to do with coaching. I really don't think so. I think it just has to do with the guy. I think it's if you got it or you don't. Like Dobbs, uh, in practice, he may not be the best guy in the squad, but when you got him into the games, he flowed better. He liked that. He was it was natural for him, and I feel like that's what we're looking for in a quarterback. Like a lot of teams need a Trevor Lawrence type. Now I'm not saying Trevor Lawrence wasn't a gamer or nothing, but Trevor Lawrence was the prototypical perfect quarterback. He could, throw
Yeah.
any kind of pass. And that's not exactly what I think you absolutely need in Josh Heupel's offense. I think you need a solid QB. And that's all just a guy that can hit someone when they're open, can quickly see it that they're open and hit them.
Well, okay, so I've watched a lot of Joey's highlights over the last like week, and I want to ask you this question about Hendon Hooker because it pertains to Joey. What was Hendon Hooker really good at? After
Dude,
when the ball was hiked, when the ball was snapped, what was Hendon really good at?
um, knowing just flowing kind of if that means anything, but he just
Yeah,
like
you're close. You're very close.
he knew when to take off to run. He knew
Well,
when to he knew his first check down that it is a first read offense. So
mhm.
he would a lot of times hit that guy. But he
Okay,
just
so
he
you're
didn't fuck us.
you're on the verge. You're on the verge of the right answer here. Hendon got the ball out of his hands.
Hmm.
Got the ball out quick. Go watch Joey's film. He gets the ball out quick, real quick. And that's
Okay.
exactly what Hendon did. And Joey Aguilar gets the ball out so damn fast. He hikes it and throws it.
Like
And
that.
when he hangs on to it too long, that's when his interceptions happen. So if Joey Aguilar can come into this offense and not have to think and just do it, he's going to be really good. But when he starts thinking, that's when he screws up.
See, that's
Go,
the thing about Heupel's offense, though. It shouldn't be a lot of. I mean, don't get me wrong. You'll have your situations where you'll have a tough, like, there won't be anything open. But if we're our offense is built to usually get 5 yards each carry if you don't load the box. And then once you load the box, we're gonna hit some open shots downfield. It's just kind of simple stuff, but it's how we play football. Uh, I think we'll see a little bit of. I, I feel like the offensive line will work out. I'm putting a lot of faith there because Glenn Ellerby is the O line coach, and we've never seen his high school guys play, but we are going to see his high school guys actually play. We're starting a freshman, David Sanders, Lance Hurd. I'm hoping he's healthy and up to the speed of everything. But
Lance Hurd played well in the season last season.
he did. Once
He
he got
played well.
healthy, I feel like He
Played
got
well.
he
Played
played
well.
he played decent. Um, and I like Sparks at running back. I feel good there. Obviously, I would like a couple more receivers, but we don't have a couple more receivers, so we're gonna have to play some freshmen at times. Uh, Also, I do think that can make things simple. I do think, obviously your starters are Mike Matthews, Brazell, and Mike Braylon Staley.
Staley. I've heard a lot of good things about Staley.
Yeah, he's good. Ohio State game. Um, I feel like, I mean, we'll see. What do we got?
Just keep it
4
simple, man.
months.
Michael Scott, keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah.
I
I
mean, that
mean,
was the most exciting brand of football we've ever had at Tennessee under Heupel. It was when we kept it simple. We didn't do too
Yeah.
much. We just kept it simple, and explosions, like explosive plays happen. And
yep.
I mean, we'll see what happens, but I don't know,
So,
man.
I mean, return to trip to the playoff is probably going to happen now. So just book it, Georgia, you're screwed. Florida, this
uh,
guy Joey, he's the one that's gonna be immune to the swamp. Joey don't fear no swamp. Joey gonna kick some ass in the swamp. We're going all the way, baby. Woo. Uh, Rammer Jammer, you're screwed. God, we gotta go to oh,
all
gotta
right,
go to
hang on.
Florida
Okay,
and
okay. So you bring that up. I just pulled up the schedule. Let's look to end this podcast. Let's go through this. And I want your honest opinion from right now, not your orange
we did
glasses.
this with what's his face? Byron
Byron Moore.
Moore.
I get this, but after our talk, I want you to go through the schedule real quick because I mean, do you not want to do this?
I gave you 8-4 last time.
You said 8-4. Okay.
I had our losses: Bama, Georgia, Oklahoma, Florida. Those are the 4 losses: Bama,
Okay.
Georgia,
All
Florida,
right. So
and Oklahoma.
does Syracuse worry you at all with
No,
okay, me either.
they just lost their best defensive tackle.
And they
Someone
and their
plucked him
best
out of the portal.
and their
But
best
we'll still play him because he's at Oklahoma. But
and their best wide receiver. They lost him too.
yeah, it's not a good time to be one of those
I thought you
G5s like that.
I thought you said you had us losing against Oklahoma.
I did.
Okay. Oklahoma. Arkansas doesn't scare you.
At home, no.
Yeah. Mississippi State shouldn't scare you. Georgia, that's a loss. Arkansas,
I think we're beating Georgia.
I think you're high out of your mind.
I'm changing that one.
I think you're
Neyland Stadium. They've been, dude. Did you not watch Georgia last year? I think
I watched them. We've already had this discussion, and you're wrong.
they got their ass whooped in Oxford.
And they outscored us 34-10 run in the second half. Sorry, buddy.
They only scored 31 points, and it was 17-17 at halftime.
It was 30. They went on a 31-10 run.
They only scored 2 touchdowns second half.
They went on a 31-10 run against us. So.
Okay, I'll just give my opinion. I'm not saying it's super duper likely, but I think that is our biggest win of the season. I really do. I think I don't think we have to play amazing. I think we just gotta maybe crack 30. Maybe gotta get a couple turnovers.
54-minute mark of the podcast. I will come back to this. That's the biggest win of the season. Okay. All right.
I think it's Neyland Stadium. It's early in the year. I don't think Gunnar Stockton's that great of quarterback. I really don't. I think it could be another year where their offense kind of looked like it did at the tail end of last season. And I think our defense can keep them in the mid-20s. And I could see I could see a 31-27 win, something like that. You gotta make sure you get at least 4 or 5 yards of carry, maybe get a couple turnovers. Joey doesn't have 3 turnovers. That's the one thing that could change this whole thing is Joey, if he goes to his turnover ways, if he tries to force stuff.
Well,
I mean,
that's
I,
that's
I'm
that's the
I'm
thing.
like talking about a quarterback I never seen throw a ball in our jersey. It's so great.
That's the thing that worries me is you can't play conservative in these type of games. You've got to ball to the wall in these type of games, and that's why I think that this team this year, this season in football, is going to be that kind of team. The balls to the walls, not really giving a damn. And I think that's when the Tennessee plays best, man. It's like you had Nico and you had Nico in there. You're like, oh my god, we can't make him look bad. We cannot make this guy look bad. And then you have these dudes coming in. You have McIntyre and other dude, mind blank, McIntyre and
Merklinger.
Merklinger, McIntyre, Joey. There's nothing to lose.
I
You
feel
go out
like
there and sling that shit all over the place.
I feel like a lot of the reason we appear to be conservative the last couple seasons is just like, I mean, I think people did adjust to Heupel's offense, but I think another factor there is that we just had quarterbacks that really just ran the offense not well. I'm not. I know we're bringing a transfer from App State to do this thing, and he threw a lot of interceptions there, but he also threw 33 touchdowns one season, and I really do think a guy who just views football in a simplistic view and just loves the game could be kind of the key to getting the offense back to where we liked it. And I don't think it's necessarily, they're not being conservative anymore. I think we were conservative out of necessity and out of kind of like the position our quarterbacks put us in. I mean, we were not trying to be conservative against Alabama last year. We just overthrew every time we had a wide open receiver. So we kind of were just screwed and we couldn't hit those shots. So we just had to run up the middle and try to get some yards on some screens. If this Joey kid can go through fall camp and just prove to know when to throw it, I feel like you can have a pretty damn good offense. It does scare me though that he threw that many interceptions and he could screw us in a game against a pretty good D.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna put some faith in that Heupel's going to drop some open receivers for him and we can hit a good few shots because I feel like the D line at Georgia took a step back. Call me freaking crazy. I know you're gonna say I'm crazy,
You're
but
crazy.
that Georgia of last season, Georgia did not look like how they normally look. Am I wrong there?
No, you're right there. But
I mean, Jackson Dart picked them apart.
they were still just a damn good football team. But like your inability to realize that they're still a damn good football team is crazy to me.
They are good.
No,
But
they're damn good. They're not good. They're excellent.
are they unbelievably better than Alabama has been the past 2 years?
Yes. They've won 2 national titles in the last 3.
I'm
So
talking about last
yes.
season. Last
Yeah.
season,
I'm
last season.
talking about the bigger picture here.
Our offense has worked against Georgia, or our offense has worked against Alabama very well the past 2 seasons. And I would say Georgia is about that same level currently. That's where I'm trying to. I
I
mean,
don't
we'll see.
I don't think so.
Last season,
You
I feel like they
you
couldn't
can't
stockpile talent like they used to.
you
Which is
can't
what's happened to Bama too, but it happened faster, or
you
it took
can't you
longer to
can't
hit
take
Georgia.
you can't take one season sample size and say this is happening.
I feel like it's
That's
the portal,
dumb.
but I feel like
That's
it's
dumb. No, it definitely evens it out 100%. But their high school recruiting is way better than ours will ever be. And they're
Yeah.
going to pay those dudes money. They're going to stay and they're going to stay relevant, man. They're not going to go
Dude.
anywhere.
I will
They're
say this though. I think we'll be okay this year, but Texas is winning the national championship. That is happening.
We'll see.
They spent $45 million. I don't think anyone else spent over 25 on their roster. And who won it last year? The team who spent the most.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I do think Arch Manning will be a good quarterback. I really do. I think just put their name on the freaking trophy.
Yeah. Well, all right, man. This has been a fun podcast. Good podcast. Great viewership. Love the comments. Thanks for everyone that tuned in. It's always a blast reading y'all's opinions on here. I can't get to them all, but I got to the ones that were popping up in front of my face as soon as they popped up. But thanks for chiming in, everyone. Thanks for listening and participating. Austin's a good podcast. We will do it again.
Good show.
My friend. Peace out. Go Balls. And God bless. We'll do it again next week. Peace out, my friends.